If you are mature enough and you have already your Pinterest account for a long time, you can also use analytics inside BlogToPin. And I honestly think it's like the most game-changing things I did, because it helps you first of all do some basic stuff, so like understand how your pins look like on the like 90-day scale, on the like 7-day scale, understand like what's your CTR, does it grow, does it not grow, what's your impressions, how they look like, etc. You can also look at the top pins here, but the most important part here is the breakdowns and delete underperforming pins. Regarding delete underperforming pins, I would tell you in the separate video, but here I want to focus on the breakdowns. It usually takes like a minute or two to load. Oh, it was pretty quick, but what it does is it allows us to see the real data based on the different boards, based on the different URLs, images used. We'd go through all of that right now, but it's honestly mind-blowing. So first of all, you can see on average how much results each board brought you, how much total views, how much total outbound clicks, etc. How much average views, how much average clicks. It is useful, but it is useful if you have like a lot of different boards and you A/B test them. It's maybe useful to understand that, hey, I have some boards which are not working, clearly not working. I publish a lot of pins there, but they bring almost no results, and maybe it makes sense to just disable them and pin to other high performing boards where you can get more clicks. Another important thing is that you can understand which exact pages bring you the most views, the most average views, the most clicks, etc. And you can just understand that, hey, you can also filter that you want to look only at pages which have at least like 10 pins, and you can see that there are certain pages which brought you almost like no clicks. For me almost no clicks. So maybe it makes sense I don't focus on them at all. Another important thing is you can also use at what is the performance based on the images I used, and these, if first two are based on like all the pins you uploaded, the latter four are only about pins uploaded through BlogToPin. So here I can see that on average, pins with like 4 or 2 images, they work better than images with 6 or 5 images. So I can understand that, hey, probably I need to focus on these 4 or 2 image templates. I can also look at the specific templates, and I can see that, hey, this template usually brings me like 4,000 views and like 200 clicks, and CTR is awesome. But for instance, this template, it brings me only 21 impressions per pin, or this one 30 impressions per pin. So it doesn't look that good, and probably I can just get rid of those and focus on the high performing templates. It is of course different for each niche, so you should keep your eye on that, but still. Another thing, you can also look at which resolutions work, but it's not as interesting as the last part, and it is the color palettes. And you can clearly see here that, hey, some of the color palettes, they bring me a lot of clicks, and some color palettes, they bring me almost like no clicks. So maybe I shouldn't focus on them. I think these ones, they are not like that representative, because there was just like not enough pins to understand that. But if I add the minimum total pins of like 100, I still can see that there are a lot of pins, a lot of color palettes which I used, which have a lot of pins shaded to them, and they just don't bring almost no results. So probably I can focus more on these ones and focus less on these ones, and once again get the better results. And it overall, all these 3 tabs help you understand what exactly you should focus on, what metrics you should prioritize, what pages, what templates, what color palettes you should prioritize, and it would take you hours and hours and hours to understand that in the native analytics in Pinterest. But here in BlogToPin, you can get that within a few seconds.